New, huge, and realistic video games coming enhanced to PlayStation 5 Pro. Click on the like button, subscribe for more, and thank you so much. Let's go.
Do not lose her!
Phantom Blade Zero is an insane action RPG game. It's being developed by the Studio S game and is coming out to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The release date is still not confirmed, but they said that it's going to be revealed in 2025, so I believe it's coming out in 2026 or later. The game will be set in a kind of linear map, similar to Dark Souls, but no, it's not a Souls-like game, but action RPG with mechanics that resembles Souls-like games. In the game, we'll play with different weapons, facing different enemies and bosses, finding new items and equipments, and honestly, I'm really hyped about this game. Dune: The Dark Ages is the next adventure of this beloved FPS series. The game is being developed by the Studio ID software and is coming out on May 13, 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. The game will be a prequel, set before of Doom 2016, but here Doomslayer will be as brutal as never before, with new melee weapons and firearms. The enemies looks really good, and the players will also have the possibility to control a flying dragon and a huge mecha robot, what looks extremely brutal. So if you like the last games of the series, this is a great game for you.
戏不死。
人活进了戏里，还是戏，本就因人而在。
Project the Perceiver is an insane upcoming action RPG game. And like most of the RPGs nowadays, we see some inspirations in Souls-like games, since the combat to the boss fights. The game is being developed by the Studio Paper Games, a Chinese studio, and is coming out in 2025 or 2026 to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game will be set in a beautiful and immense open world with a lot of quests, enemies, and general content. The visual of this game is something mind-blowing with an impressive combat style and movements. So like most of China's game lately, you should keep an eye out for it.
且让你们体会。如何相提并论？一将功成万骨枯，总有。
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Bad luck, I guess.
GTA 6 is the new adventure of one of the biggest video game series ever. The game will once again be set in Vice City, a famous city of the series, but now it'll be set in modern days, even with a whole new part. I'd even say that Vice City we know will be just a small part of the whole game's map. Just like GTA 5, here we'll play with more than one protagonist. Now, it'll be Jason and Lucia, and it promises to be one of the greatest games ever. The game is being developed by Rockstar Games, and it's coming out in 2025. Unless they postpone it, let's hope not, and it'll be launched on Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5.
Look who's back. The only way we're gonna get through this is by sticking together, being a team. Trust?
Trust.
The Ming Dynasty is dead. Although I swore to protect it, my mission is fulfilled. I will not rest until all traitors are silenced and our stolen kingdom returned.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a new Chinese action RPG game set in the Souls-like style. The studio developing the game is the studio Mindseye, and it's coming out in 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. And the game is also coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. The story is set in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming Dynasty, plagued with warring factions and a mysterious illness spawning monstrous creatures. The game got nice graphics and a gameplay that looks really good, especially for the fans of Souls-like games.
They hurt you pretty bad, didn't they? I haven't seen you this scarred since last September.
Come on, move it! Get out of my way, jerk!
Maybe I overreact, but we'll get you sorted out.
Wreckfest 2 is an insane realistic racing game, offering the best in full-contact racing with unrivaled destruction. Witness head-to-head battles as you tear apart rival vehicles bit by bit, powered by the enhanced physics engine, developed by the creators of Wreckfest and Flatout. The studio developing the game is Bugbear, and if you played the original game, you know how good it was. A game with extreme quality and absolutely fun. The sequel is already on early access on Steam for PC, but the final version will also be available on Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5, but there's no release date yet for it.
You take their pieces! Throw it up! Oh, feels like something came up through the seat. Oh.
My driving style, it's always been aggressive. I think it's gone from being all out, all risk. Now.
A new year, a new era, a new season. Welcome to... There was a time. It's a great start for Hamilton.
F125 is finally the new game for the fans of Formula One. Leave your mark on the world of racing in F125, the official video game of the 2025 FIA Formula One World Championship, featuring a revamped My Team mode, the thrilling third chapter of Breaking Point, and more. It's being developed by the studio Codemasters, an EA game studio, and there's an official release date already. That's May 30th, 2025, and it's coming out to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. Create your own F1 stories as you take control as the owner owner of a Formula One team. The new owner perks system allow you to specialize in your preferred areas of team management, then get behind the wheel of either of your two F1 drivers on race weekends.
She's going for it! Oh no! Her race is over! The rookie's showing the chap what he's made of here.
Kid is quick.
Or by copying them.
Focus on the bigger picture.
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a soul. Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Infiltrated the facility.
Ninja Gaiden 4 is the returning of the classic hack-and-slash series. After a long time without a new game, a new one is finally announced. It's being developed by the studio's Platinum Games, Team Ninja, and Koei Tecmo Games, and is planned to be released still in 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and Microsoft Windows. Ninja Gaiden is a legendary hack-and-slash series. The game mixes a little of exploration in an insane combat style with different weapons and characters. The new game will be set in the same style, but with new characters and with new generation graphics.
This is it. Ryu Hayabusa.
It ends here. So you've come.
Marvel's Wolverine is the new game by the studio of Spider-Man PS4 and Ratchet & Clank. The studio is Insomniac Games, a very good studio. The game is being developed for a long time already. But unfortunately, we just have a single trailer so far here. We can see that the graphics are insane, but I really hope the game is as brutal as a Wolverine game needs to be. It'll be set in the same universe of Spider-Man games, and we still don't know when it's really coming out. Maybe 2025, 2026, to PlayStation 5 only.
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam, and to the GHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations.
Death Stranding 2 is the sequel of the acclaimed original game. Again, it's being developed by Kojima Productions, and it's coming out in June 26, 2025, to PlayStation 5. In the future, it's probably coming out to Windows and maybe Xbox. Death Stranding is a unique and original game. The gameplay mixes walking simulator with building features, combat, and an insane story and storytelling. And the sequel will continue the story of Sam, the protagonist of the game, and now the players will continue to explore and connect the people, but also see the aftermath of the first
one another. We want you to help us bring the world together.
Sam, would you mind if I joined you?
Humor him. His knowledge and experience will probably come in handy down the road.
Yes.
The plan, Sam. The UCA isn't looking to expand its borders. Just like with Mexico, they want to bring new regions into the network. Anyway, the GHV Magellan's here to back you up. As always, you'll be the one leading the way to expand the network.
Tear it open!
Last Sentinel is a new game story focused, set in an open world. Believe it or not, but this game is being produced by an old Rockstar Games director. His new studio is Lightspeed, and the game got no release date yet, but is probably coming out to the main platforms, since it wasn't announced too. The game is set decades from now in a reconstructed Tokyo. You play as Hiromi Shota in Last Sentinel, a narrative-focused, open-world action game. That's the briefing of the game. Beyond that, we don't know much more, but it's a game that sounds really interesting. Just hope to see a gameplay trailer soon.
Follow me.
Seekers of redemption, you were chosen. Thrown together by forces beyond our control.
Elden Ring Night Train is a new game set in a version of the world of Elden Ring. The game is being developed by From Software and is coming out on May 30th, 2025 to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Series S, and Windows. The game will be set in a roguelike style. You choose a class in the start and must survive in the map as you advance and fight enemies and bosses, getting better items and weapons. If you die, you restart all, and as you proceed, the map will start closing, similar to a battle royale game, and the focus here will be co-op. So if you like this style, this one looks good.
Little pillager, bent on sacking the lands of gold, I will swat away any and all who dare approach.
The life of the Night Lord.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is the remake of a classic and insane game. And yes, the first attempt to do the remake was canceled. Thankfully, that seemed bad, but they announced a new version of the remake. So yeah, it's being developed again by Ubisoft and is coming out in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
My memory's still a bit blurry. Remember this. Inside my head.
Satellite gives us a 10-minute window.
You made it. That's just leftover hardware. It's been decommissioned. What the hell is happening? All I know is that Silvercorp is a piece of my story.
Mindseye is a story-driven, action-adventure thriller set in a fictional near-future Americana, featuring best-in-class cinematics, high-octane driving, and explosive combat from legendary game director Leslie Benzies. This is a game that promises to be the game to be in the same level of GTA 6 in 2025, and yes, it's being developed by an old Rockstar game director. That's why the hype is real about it. The studio is built a Rocket Boy, and the game is coming out in June 10th. It's really close, and it'll be available on Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
What's going on in there? It was an ambush. Do what you can. Do not lose her. I'm coming to you now. The search and rescue bots. They're malfunctioning.
Legacy can take many forms, right? Learn from the ones who came before.
Is that a Kestrel?
I still can't believe they exist.
To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I just need one foot. Aha!
You can turn into a Nephron.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is one of the most beautiful, in a matter of realistic graphic style, turn-based RPGs I've ever seen. The game is being developed by the studio Sandfall Interactive, and this one got a confirmed release date already. That's April 24th, 2025, and it's coming out of PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. The game features a beautiful and realistic graphic style, with impressive visuals and style. The combat isn't a turn-based system, but with action mechanics too, like pressing in right time to defend or attack stronger. It seems that the world will be huge, with a lot of possibilities and things to explore too. What sounds fun?
Do you mean we're the only ones left? I wish I hadn't come here for this. I found them.
Instinction is a new first-person survival game set in a mix of prehistoric and modern world. Experience an action-adventure full of prehistoric animals, set in the heart of a lost Mesoamerican land cut off from the world by the rift. Survive a mysterious organization and ancient creatures to restore stability and unravel one of the most intriguing stories of modern times. The game is being developed by the studio Hashbane Interactive and is coming out to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. Probably still in 2025, and shall be one of the most realistic video games about dinosaurs so far.
After all this death, if you had the chance to...
Father told us to hide when they came to our house. Then they took him away. Mother said I couldn't play outside anymore.
Hell Is Us is a new action-adventure game with some RPG mechanics. The game will be set in a semi-open world, in a dark and mysterious universe. The game is being developed by the studio Rogue Factor, and it got a release date already, and it is September 4th, 2025, and it'll be available on Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. In an isolated country ravaged by infighting, discover the secrets of your past and deal with the repercussions of a mysterious calamity. A game with beautiful graphics and an immersive gameplay. So just make sure you remember this one.
Mother always said monsters didn't exist. I thought they lived under my bed. We were both wrong. They live inside our heads.
Cronos: The New Dawn is the third-person survival horror by the studio that brought us the amazing Silent Hill 2 remake. The studio is Bloober Team. I didn't trust the studio to do the remake of Silent Hill 2 back then, but they showed us that they know how to impress us. So I'm curious to see more about this game. It'll be released in some moment of 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The game throws you into the heart of a deadly struggle against overwhelming foes, all while uncovering the mysteries of a twisted time travel story, with impressive visuals and an impressive immersion.
Wisdom and kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
The Witcher 4 is the sequel of the acclaimed The Witcher 3, but now, different of the previous games, the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, one of the most important characters of the third game. It's being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, the same studio of Cyberpunk and The Witcher, and is probably coming out in 2027, with luck 2026, to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The new game will be totally made in Unreal Engine 5. That's one of the best engines of the moment, with impressive graphics and insane possibilities. So if you like huge and massive RPG games, this is surely one of these.
Off your ass!
Do the same for that one. Hey! Hey, you! Get out of here!
Calm down. I'm going.
Good choice.
You have a good day, too.
Gothic Remake. The legend is back. Return to the Valley of the Minds in this faithful remake of the genre-defining classic RPG. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions in a gritty, unrestricted experience like no other. The game the remake of a classic RPG game. It's being developed by the studio Alchemia Interactive, and it's coming out probably in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The original game was released over 20 years ago, in 2001, and it's a very good and fun RPG game. So if you like big and massive RPG games, that's a good one.
There's the life. You had your share, mate. Get lost. Get lost.
Time to put that booty to good use.
Come on, fry him! Yeah!
I really thought you could get away with this, eh? Wait.
That world came into being. It devoured everything from the past. Only I was left. That was a fatal mistake.
It's the aura of the Grail pieces. I can sense it. As long as it is reforged.
Wish can be fulfilled.
Tides of Annihilation is a new action-adventure game. It's being developed by the studio Eclipse Glow Games and is coming out to Xbox Series X and Series S, PlayStation 5, and Windows, but there's no release date yet, probably 2026 or even later. The game is set in a world that mixes reality with fantasy, with amazing realist graphics. Everything in the game looks really good, since the visuals, audio effects, combat, that's fast and fluid, with impressive visual effects, and mainly the boss fights, with some aspects of Souls-like game, what looks really nice.
This is a feast only for the king.
Price. To pursue one's wishes is to court one's doom.
Gwendolyn, this is...
It always comes back to this. This choice.
Saros is the next game of the studio that developed Returnal, a fun roguelike game released on PlayStation 5. The studio is Housemarque Studios, and as it's a PlayStation studio, it's coming out only on PlayStation 5, at least in the start, and is aimed to be released in 2026. We've just seen one trailer so far, but here we see that the graphics are really good, something Sony's game usually got. And again, the game will be set in a roguelike style, and we'll probably see bullet hell features. That's those games with a lot of things and shots for the player to avoid. What is fun for me?
Every time the sun dies, madness reigns, and everything begins again. Ways come back stronger. I know that you are here.
Tell me something good.
Intergalatic, the Heretic Prophet, is the new game developed by the studio that created insane series, like The Last of Us, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, and more. The studio is Naughty Dog and is coming out probably in 2026 to PlayStation 5. So far, we didn't see much about the game. What we know is that the game is being developed since 2020, and the graphics looks really good, what's usual of Naughty Dog. The game will be set in a futuristic and fanciful world. The gameplay wasn't announced yet, but in the trailer we see what could resemble a part of it, a sort of hack and slash or Souls-like style. What looks fun?
There, you're the boss. Thank you. Listen, kid.
Forza Horizon 5, one of the best racing games of the last years, is finally coming out to PlayStation. This is a Microsoft series, so it's always been an Xbox consoles exclusive since the first game on Xbox 360 to this day. But now, Xbox teams finally decided to release the game on PlayStation 5 too. The game was originally released in 2021 to Xbox One, Series XS, and Windows, but it'll also be available on PlayStation 5 on April 29, 2025. It's really close now, so you fan the series, but that just plays on PlayStation, you'll be able to play it too. Battlefield 6 is finally a new version of this classic series. So far we don't have much information about it, but it shall be released still in 2025 or 2026.
The tracks lead this way. On me. Bloody hell.
Dying Light the Beast is a new action-adventure with horror game. If you know the series, you know what to expect, but it's a game set in a first-person style. You're in a place that's been struck by a zombie infestation. You must survive and fight them with all you've got, all types of weapons, vehicles, and more. The gameplay is really nice, with a fast movement style and insane parkour skills. The game is being developed by the studio Techland, and it's coming out in some moment in 2025 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series XS, and Windows, and is a game that the fans of the first game should keep an eye out for.
Contact!
If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Chrono Odyssey is a new, insane, huge MMORPG. It's a game developed in Unreal Engine 5, a game with impressive graphics and visuals. The game is being developed by the studio Cronos Studio and got no release date yet, but is probably coming out in 2025 or 2026 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. A vast and intricately designed, seamless open world, dynamic action-based combat mechanics based on time manipulation and extensive customization. These are some of the features of this insane game. So for the fans of online RPG games with a massive world to explore, this is a game for you.
Ensure the safety of Sokolov and bring him back to the west. Your codename for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. The clock is ticking. This will be a sneak. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's specialty. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Metal Gear Solid Delta is the remake of one of the most beloved games of the master Kojima, Metal Gear 3, and it's being developed by Konami. Just hope they do a great job here. It's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows in August 26, 2025. Metal Gear is a stealth game, set in an extremely unique universe. The things are not what they seem, and the plot of the game is absolutely incredible, especially to its time. The remake will seemingly respect the original game, but bringing a new gameplay style, but keeping the core of the game, that's the stealth.
Might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl before his betrayal? A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. Sardaukar deployed to Fremen. Exterminated. No, Muad'Dib.
Dune Awakening is a new upcoming MMORPG. Yeah, that's an online game. It's set in the universe of Dune, obviously, and it promises to be a huge adventure for the fans, and even for those who don't know the series. The game is being developed by the studio Funcom, and it finally got a release date already, and it is May 20th, 2025, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. Rise from survival to greatness, and challenge the power of an Imperium in Dune Awakening, an insane online experience to have with your friends.
Survive it.
Crimson Desert is an insane upcoming open-world RPG. The game is being developed by the studio Pearl Abyss, and it's coming out still in 2025, but with no specific date yet. But it's coming out to Xbox Series X and Series S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is one of those games that are even hard to believe that they're really good as they look. The graphics are insane. The world seems huge and massive, and is a game with a lot of features like glide, parkour, a nice combat style, dragon ride, and much more. And if it's as good as it looks, it'll be one of the best games of this year. Archeage Chronicles is a new MMORPG that looks mind-blowing. Here, we'll explore Auroria, a vast and vibrant world brimming with rich lore and thrilling action. The game delivers an immersive experience that will capture players' hearts, whether they are newcomers to the setting or seasoned adventurers. The game got an insane visual style with a great combat system. Some people are even considering it a Souls-like game. So imagine fighting insane bosses and enemies with your friends, getting better items and equipment, building your characters the way you want, and much more. So it looks really promising.
I pray for their grace, but all that came were inferior shades.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such power?
Time. War.
Ballad of Antara is an upcoming action RPG. The game is set in a sort of open world with a fast and fluid combat style. Through the game, the player will be able to play with multiple characters, even changing the one you're playing in real time, but just if they are with you in the battle. The game is being developed by the studio Tipsworks Studio and is coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game features an interesting feature, a sort of change of dimension, kind of similar to the last Lords of the Fallen, and it looks really good here. And the boss fights looks really sick. So I'm really curious about this one.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the...
We did not betray this world.
This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this.
Every good story is true in one way or another. Dr. Jones. So what I'd like to do is put the guns down.
Go ahead.
So what brings you to the Vatican, Indy?
I'm looking for someone.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a game that was already released, but on Xbox Series X and Series S and Windows, but it was also confirmed to PlayStation 5, and it's coming out still in 2025. The game was developed by the studio Machine Games, and is an insane stealth FPS set in the universe of Indiana Jones. In the game, you can explore different locations, all of them with a lot of things to do and explore. The combat of the game is simple. It's not an FPS game like Call of Duty, but a stealth game that you can also use firearms, but they are not so simple to use. But I highly recommend you the game.
He stole something from me, and I mean to find out why.
Right now, I'm looking into the disappearance of my sister. And I believe...
They think it's a conduit of some kind of power, correct?
The boss certainly does. He believes it'll secure his place in history. There's a trigger.
Don't hurt her! Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish, would it not? They spread the plague just as well as adults.
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is a new open RPG from the same director of the beloved The Witcher 3. The game is being developed by the studio Rebel Wolves and is coming out at PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Microsoft Windows. We still don't know the release date, but I'd say 2026 or 2027. And the interesting thing about the game is that just like The Witcher, the game will be set in a world that reacts to your decisions. All you choose will change something in the story, and the world will be dark and immersive, filled with creatures such as vampires.
Not just a runner, but a fighter, too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended there.
That's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next video.